Now, I get it. We have already made our fair share of videos about this guy. We've talked about his entire journey heading into the NHL, how he was an NCAA beast, and all the numbers, the stats, the awards. It's been good. We even made a video before the season ended talking about how this guy might already be the best Buffalo Sabres goaltender in the system. But today I wanted to go out there and revisit this once more. Because when it comes to recently debuted Buffalo Sabres goaltender Devon Levi, I wanted to bring up some stats that go over just how crazy good he might actually be. Now, just to get everything out of the way, get the formalities out there, because not everybody is a Buffalo Sabres fan that watches these videos. Devon Levi is 21 years old, December 27, 2001 is the birth date, 6 feet 185, so not the biggest goaltender out there. Left-handed catcher on his ELC from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Initially a 7th-round pick by the Panthers, he eventually became a pretty mainstay guy in that system once he became the Team Canada starter at the World Juniors. In the finals, he faced off against Spencer Knight, who was a fellow prospect in the Panthers system, where Devon Levi was drafted in the 2020 7th round, Spencer Knight was drafted in the 2019 1st round, and it was a pretty cool matchup to see. Of course, Devon Levi went out there and pretty much made himself known in this tournament, but as his career went on, he eventually became a Buffalo Sabres guy after getting traded to Buffalo in the Sam Reinhart trade. Since then, the Buffalo Sabres fanbase has had a lot to look forward to, as Devon Levi pretty much shot up the ranks as the top prospect goaltending-wise the team had in their system. All the stats, all the numbers with the Northeastern University Huskies were phenomenal, and after he wrapped up his 22-23 in the NCAA, he had signed his ELC, played with the Sabres, and posted up some pretty good numbers. He was 5-2-0 in the 7-game sample he had, a .294 goals against average and a .905 save percentage accompanied him, and he looked extraordinary in these games. He was making great saves, he was showing his confidence in his interviews. We made a few videos just talking about the instincts of this guy and how his attitude was towards being an NHL player. It's great, just the head he has on his shoulders. He is competitive, he is a gamer, he is always looking for bigger and bolder challenges, and with all the stuff about Star Wars being his prep, he's thinking about it before he plays every game. Even though this guy is a 6 feet tall goaltender, he has shown that he has the skills to make it work at the NHL level. Now, of course, a 7-game sample size isn't the be-all and end-all, and we're probably going to see more out of Devon Levi heading into next season. But if you take a look at the goaltending situation for Buffalo, the other goalies that are actually signed and projected to being NHL guys, according to Cap Friendly, you have Eric Comrie, who is on a $1.8 million deal signed till the end of 2024, and you have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who is also signed till the end of the year, making $800,000. Devon Levi is in this conversation, as is Dustin Tokarski and Devin Cooley, but let's face it, it's going to be Levi, it's going to be UPL, it's going to be Comrie. If the Sabres want to go out there and get another goalie, then okay, be my guest, but for now, these are the guys at hand. With this in mind, I wanted to go over to NHL Network and visit the R-Sabres subreddit, because what they did was they posted some of these crazy stats that I wanted to look at. Take a look at this. The NHL Network's graph for goals saved above expected in 22-23 for Buffalo. Devon Levi, in 7 games played, had 1.2 goals saved above expected. Eric Comrie, in 19 games played, had a -4.5. Craig Anderson, in 26 games, had a -4.6. And UPL, in 33 games, had a -11.4. Now, you might be looking at this and saying, what does that mean? What does goals saved above expected mean? Well, this is an individual statistic that measures the quantity of shots against and goals against, and it also takes a look at the quality of these chances. If a goalie is facing a long 60-mile-per-hour wrist shot from the point with no screen on the rush, then that save is probably going to be marked as a regular old shot. It's not going to be marked as an expected goal. If the goalie is going up against a one-timer cross crease, 90 miles an hour, right in the slot, back door, and the goalie is out of position, then hey, that's probably an expected goal. Essentially, you want this number to be positive, because if it's positive, if you translate this statistic into a sentence, it means that Devon Levi, in the 7 games that he had, saved all the shots that should not have been goals, and he actually saved 1.2 goals from going in. Eric Comrie, on the other hand, in 19 games played, did not save all the goals that he should have, and in fact, he let in 4.5 more goals than he should have expected to save based off of the quality of the shots that he faced. And then you have UPL, who in his 33-game sample let in 11.4 more goals than he probably should have let in. Now, of course, this stat is just an average. Every goalie is going to have more shots that get saved. They're going to have their big saves. They're going to have their big moments. But this overall stat indicates just the quality of chances that are going in and the quantity of these as well. UPL is a goalie that had a bad record because he just didn't play all too great this year in comparison to Devon Levi, who saved more goals than he probably should have. If you go in the comment section of this thread, this is what Dr. Murdoch goes out there and says, imagine how many more wins the Sabres would have had if they had a 1.2 total for the entire year. And this is where you get into thinking, hey, 7 games, it's a very small sample size. You can't go out there and say that anything is definitive in less than 10% of the season. You also have yourselves another comment here from the original poster. The NHL Network is using Sportslogic's private model. It is thought to be more accurate than public models as they take into account things like puck movement and skater track data. Here's the data of goals saved above expected from a public model, Evolving Hockey. Craig Anderson, if you take a look at the Evolving Hockey chart, actually has a higher goals saved above expected with 4.66. Devon Levi's number goes up to 3.69. Eric Comrie gets worse at 8.55 negative, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen actually gets a tad better at a minus 10.74 versus the 11.4 he had on the NHL Network show. The difference here is that Sportlogic is a little bit more intricate with its data, taking into account where the other skaters are on the ice, as well as the speed and velocity of the puck. This is a private data set, so obviously NHL Network has the rights to go out there and use this, but the public models on Evolving Hockey, which are a little less intricate in its data collection, actually have Craig Anderson as being the better goalie in terms of goals saved above expected. Of course, the models are different. The sample size is way different, and the goals saved above expected is different too. Craig Anderson saved a whole more goal than he should have saved versus Devon Levi if you take a look at the difference in this model here. But at the end of the day, Craig Anderson is not here anymore. Craig Anderson, unfortunately, announced his retirement at the end of the season, and okay, maybe it's not unfortunate. The guy's like 40-something years old. He's really old. So the fact that he was able to go out there and actually go out as a mentor to a lot of these Buffalo Sabres, pretty good stuff, honestly. But for Devon Levi, he's right up there in terms of skill, in terms of being able to compete, and we had already seen in the sample size he had earlier this year that he was fantastic, and the numbers back that up. Already the best goalie in the Buffalo Sabres prospect pool, or excuse me, not prospect pool, just regular pool in general. He already had a better sample size than UPL and Comrie, so heading into next season, we're going to have to see where the Buffalo Sabres go with Devon Levi and his development. Do I think he's ready for 40 games in an NHL season? Probably not, but give this guy a cup of coffee. Maybe give him 2 or 3 or 4 big, jumbo, mega, grande, whatever the thing is at Starbucks sizes of coffee, and see how he does. If he's able to play, keep playing him, ride the hot hand. If he ever shows signs of fatigue, then give him a little bit of a rest, because this is a player whose development has been so golden this entire time, you cannot afford to screw this up. And if you do, I won't forgive you, Buffalo. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about these Devon Levi stats, showing off how good he already has been in the NHL, despite being a first-year player who hadn't even played a full rookie year yet? He's only 6 feet, so he's a small guy. He's still young too, but he's been doing pretty well, if I do say so myself. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How does that make you feel? How do you feel he's going to perform next season? And let's get some love in the comment section as well for Craig Anderson too. That guy was a pretty good workhorse the past few years. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this Vrishaj Rolls 99. And bye.